Russian is running some really weird own devlogs right now. Like if we look at EU devlogs right now, wait. If we look at the EU devlogs, last devlog is 11/17/29th. 11/17/29th. On Russia, 38th, 29th, 11th. The whole 17th thing was missing. And apparently, you know what? Okay. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. One of my viewers also told me that if you install the Russian PTS server, not the EU, but the Russian have a unique PTS client that we can't. Well, you have to install it, and I'm not gonna install it because fuck me, they're like 60 gigs each. I can't be arsed. But if you were to install it, you can actually play Devastation and Novosibirsk on the Russian PTS. You can only do it against bots, but you can play both of them, so you can test them there on their PTS. So, and the EU will never fucking allow you to do that. So there are serious like differences starting. Like if it's shit like that keeps happening, I'm gonna install Russian PTS just to see what the fuck they're doing. Okay, so this is Russian balance changes. What are they doing? We're applying balance changes to a number of ships based on an analysis of their combat effectiveness and feedback. Kremlin, increased survivability of air defense. Now it corresponds to the standard values for battleship. So they buffed Kremlin AA, but this is only Russia, not EU. The horizontal aiming angles for the stern main guns in both directions have been increased by 10 degrees. Stern main guns, both of them. That seems insanely good. 10% better angling when pushing in the Colombo? That's fucking nuts. Henry, the time for the engine to reach maximum power when moving forward has been reduced from 60 to 40, and when moving backward from 40 to 20. Are they completely reverting the engine nerf to the Henry? Because, okay, Henry used to be super fucking agile. It used to have insanely good maneuverability, and then Wargaming nerfed it to the point that I literally organized a race between a Colorado and a Henry, and I think the Colorado like accelerated better. And I think they've reverted it now here. This is like a huge buff. Maximum power when moving forward, like this is a 33% reduction in how long it takes to get maximum power moving forward. And backwards, this is a 50%. Holy shit. But this is only Russia though, Mike Oxalong. Dude, BFK is gonna be so sad when he finds out that old Henry is back, but it's only on Russia. Vittorio Veneto. Main gun Sigma parameter increased from 1.7 to 1.85. Wait, that would actually make Veneto a lot of fun to play. Veneto with accuracy? Is that allowed? That's actually a huge buff. So they can improve BB turret angles. They've spent years saying that it's impossible to improve the German BB angles. Bro, the list of things Wargaming have claimed only to backpedal on, Jesus, that is a log list. That is a fucking... that is a gigantic list of things. Where Wargaming has said, oh, it's not impossible, it's impossible, and then later on, okay, well, I guess we can do it. Remember refunds? Godzilla vs. Kong? They explained that they can't give us refunds on Godzilla vs. Kong commanders because of technical limitations. And then I made a video about it. And people started talking about how it's probably illegal for them to deny us refunds. And then suddenly the technical limitations all disappeared, and Wargaming was like, yeah, you can get a refund, it's fine. Like, whenever they say something is impossible, what they're trying to say is, we really don't want to do this. We really don't want to do this. Nebraska, ship deck armor and aircraft hangar flight deck armor increased to 32 to 38. Main gun reload time reduced. Wow, that's a big fucking Nebraska buff. Jesus. Colombo had these angles during testing. Did it really? So they're literally reverting a bunch of nerfs here. Torpedo reload speed up. Simple. Wait, Hayate gets separate torpedo reload booster. Wait, that can actually make Hayate fun. That might actually make Hayate like a pretty decent ship. It's not gonna be great, but it would be like decent. Is that allowed? Holy shit! Wait, what? Like that would. Yeah, so you can run smoke and torpedo reload booster at the same time on Hayate. That might actually make it a decent ship, but it's not on EU, it's only on Russia. Holy shit. Oh man, okay, I'm getting kind of jelly. I'm getting kind of jelly, because like, a lot of these changes seem to make ships a lot more fun. Alvaro de Bazan, main battery turret rotation time by 180 degrees reduced from 18 to 12. That's a big fucking buff. That's a big buff. Belfast 43 buffed from 10 to 8.5 seconds. Bro, they're just buffing everything. They're just buffing everything. But this is like Belfast 43, not Belfast Tier 7. If they buffed Belfast Tier 7, they would be dented. But Belfast Tier 8, the 43, is actually not that good. It's literally a downgrade from the Tier 7. Like, that's another reverse nerf. Like, cause I'm pretty sure Belfast didn't have much damage going for it. Like the 43. Maybe I misremember, but let me check. Main battery. Yeah, I mean, Belfast has much less damage than shit like Chapayev and Kutuzov and Irian and all this. Like, it sits here. And didn't it have terrible firing angles as well? It had really bad firing angles. And 15.4 km range. So what they're doing is they're reducing this this reload from 10 to 8.5, which is still not going to be as good as the reload on these guys, but it's more in that direction. Belfast 43 is kind of ass. That's what I'm thinking as well. That's what I'm thinking. Belfast 43 is kind of ass. Thank you, Deadson, for the 15 months. Belfast 43 got stealth radar. Did it have much of a stealth radar? What was the concealment on the Belfast 43? I think actually... Don't I have it on EU? Don't I have it on EU? Let me see. Tier 8 cruiser. Here it is. Oh, you could get stealth radar. Was it a 9cam radar though? Are you sure you can get stealth radar? I don't think it had a stealth radar. Or it barely has a stealth radar if it does. It's barely. I think it's like gonna be... Let me see. There we go. Sure. 8.9. Yeah, you barely get stealth. You get 9cam radar with 8.9 cam conceal. But I think the problem with the Belfast... Wasn't it the firing angles? I think it was the firing angles that was the fucking garbage thing. I think that was the garbage thing of the Belfast 43. It had really poor firing angles. And it was just much bigger than the Belfast, old Belfast. Short burst smoke was also not as good as the original smoke. Because it was only 40 seconds. You stop in it, you have time to shoot a few volleys, and you have to leave again. I don't think that nerf might be that bad. I mean, stealth radar generally is bad. It has no heal, it has... Yeah, no Belfast 43 has never been a threat to me. So... Like, I've always thought it was a pretty, like... free target to farm, honestly. In most ships. So... We'll see. We'll see. I don't think this is that bad of it. California. Main gun reload. Did they finally buff California? Why is EU not buffing California? California was released, and then within 2 weeks they power crept California by releasing the Florida, which was just far better than the California. And California has been stuck with this dog shit 34-second reload for ages and fucking 60-second turret traverse for ages. It's been absolute dog. Like, that ship is terrible. And on Russia, they buff. Why is Russia making much better decisions than EU? How is that a thing? What? No way. I have the California. Here it is. This thing has... Look at the armor. Everything on this is overmatchable at the tier and higher tiers. And everything can be penned by cruisers. And the speed on this thing is 21.5 knots, which is a goddamn joke. And the guns themselves were 3.56s, so you don't overmatch anything yourself. So this thing was slow, vulnerable, and had a glacial fucking reload of 34 seconds with a glacial turret traverse. And now on Russia, they understand that it needs to be buffed. So they give it a 10% DPM buff and a significant turret traverse buff. It's a Colorado. No, Colorado is better because Colorado overmatches. Colorado has better guns. The problem with California is that it doesn't even overmatch, and Colorado is faster as well. I think. Like California is really a complete joke, and yeah, that's kind of crazy. That bug fixes: intermediate depth limit change from 34 meters to default 30. Wait, what is this bug? What did this do for the god though? I don't know what this did for the Gata, but they fixed some bug with it. Wow, these are all looking like pretty great, honestly. This is mostly a bunch of old ships getting buffs. The Kremlin AA values, I mean, normally I'd be like, does Kremlin really need buffs? But then on the other hand, it's AA values, and AA is a joke in World of Warships, so it's whatever. What is this? 2 days ago? Kitakami. They buffed the torp speed. Whoa! Okay, now that's drunk. That's drunk. I might have to take back everything positive I just said. I might have to take back everything positive I just said. What the fuck is that? I might have to take back everything positive I just said. 86 knots with a concealment with 1.2. That is the drunkest thing I've heard. That might be the best torpedoes in the game. That might be the best torpedoes in the game. What the fuck? Like, who even comes close? Like, normally, okay. Look, you can calculate the reaction time on torpedoes. Basically, you take how far away they're spotted, and then you take their speed, and what you get is a reaction time if the torpedo is spotted when you're full broadside to it. How much time do you have to react? If you're kiting away, you obviously get more time to react. If you're moving towards it, you get less time, but it's calculated based on sailing broadside and torpedoes spotted on your broadside. That's what it's calculated on. And if we look at the current values on this, ships that have 86 knots torps, but a detectability of 1.8 have a 7.8 second reaction time. Ships torps that have a 62 knot speed, but a detectability of 1.3 have a 7.8. And these things have 86 knots, but 1.2k concealment. I don't even know what the fucking value is gonna be on this. Like, nothing comes close. There's no comparable torpedo to it. Because all the ones that have insane concealment like this are much slower. Gdansk has 1.6 conceal. Why? Why does Gdansk have 1.6 conceal? It's Holland torpedoes. Isn't it? Yeah, it's Holland torpedoes, but Holland itself has 1.8 conceal. I didn't even realize they'd done that for the Gdansk. Wow, that's some bullshit. They took the fucking European torps and they fucking tweak the concealment on it so it gives you less reaction time. I swear, if you're a new ship in World of Warships, you get all this random hidden bullshit that they don't tell you about. What the fuck? I had no idea. Those are insane. They got insane reaction time. Wow. Okay, but still. Now imagine this is 1.2 instead. The reaction time is going to be something like 5 seconds. What the fuck? Jesus. That's fucking hell. That's nuts. That's nuts. That's insanity. What the fuck? British cruiser defense. They're buffing this thing again. I thought it was really junk at one point. Then they gave it a massive buff. Now I don't know what they're doing with it. Both EU and Russia seem to have no idea what the fuck they're doing with this thing. Tsurug. Main gun reload time reduced from 28 to 25. Main battery turret rotation time from 180 degrees reduced from... Bro, I swear, if you're a new battleship in World of Warships, you have standard 30-second turret bursts. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Like these gigantic, huge fucking turrets, but every fucking new BB has 30-second turret traverse. I feel like it's fucking default. It's like default. Like, if it's just crazy. Like, the point is, of course, turret traverse requires skill to play around. Because you have to manage your gun angles, you have to have your guns prepared, you have to know where the enemy is coming from, and you have to have your guns ready for where he's coming from. So you need preparation, planning, map awareness, positioning, all sorts of things to make use, to compensate for slow turret traverse. But if you make the turret traverse really fast, none of those things really matter. You can play like fucking ape, and if someone pops up, you can just turn your guns and shoot him really quickly. So obviously, it reduces skill expression, which is probably why Wargaming loves putting fast turrets in the game, and that's why we're never gonna see something like the Yamato, which had like 72-second turret traverse at launch or something. We're never gonna see that again because it required a lot of skill to manage those guns, and we're never gonna see that again. Now we just get fucking Clemens, Ohio's, Thunderers, Incomparables, fucking Lorias, name it, it's gonna have 30-second turret traverse. That's just what they do. Remember Old Warspite? Old Warspite was also 70 seconds, I think. 72. German Cruiser Shill. Reload time, nerf. Oh shit. The above changes will go into effect on August 31st on live server as well as second phase and 12.2 public. Soviet Cruiser Commissar. Remove jet boosters from the attack squadron. Have they removed those on EU? Because it has Nakimov's fucking jet boosters. Are those removed on EU? I don't think they are. Are they? I'm glad they're nerfing planes, though. Soviet battleship Navarin. Airstrike GB has been replaced with a similar one for Tier 9 Soviet battleships. Huh? I don't know what that means. It's not changed on EU. Okay. Japanese battleship Adatara. Accuracy of 100mm secondary caliber guns has been adjusted to standard values for Japanese battleships. That sounds like a nerf. That sounds like a heavy nerf. French battleship Picardy. AP fuse delay increased from 0.01 to 0. Wait, it had a 10 millisecond fuse time. Holy shit. It had a 10 millisecond fuse time on a BB. Yeah, short fuse. Very short fuse. 10 millisecond fuse, that's like fucking Minotaur. No, not Minotaur. Minotaur is 5, I think. Or is it 10? It's really short fuse, though. Holy shit. But now it's standard. 33 millisecond is standard battleship fuse, huh? Has. Yeah. Wait, so EU still has the super short fuse, doesn't it? It's getting really interesting to see how it's taken about a year since they split. Maybe more, actually. But now you're starting to see different balancing like branches go like this. It looks like Russia is willing to change a lot more on the old ships compared to EU, though. At least based on this entire balance change here. Because EU is just like old ships, whatever, we don't give a shit. Like Zhao, I have no idea what you're talking about. Ibuki, oh, I don't know him. Never heard of him. Whereas it looks like Russia at least is willing to go back and change them. But then on the other hand, we got some really dented shit like those Kitakami torpedoes. So, I don't know. Many buffs were very good. Many buffs on this list were very good. Like, I thought they were good changes to the game. This is the one we saw on... This is the same as we have on EU, right? Isn't it? Wait, no it's not. Wait, this is not the same as EU. It gets 22% speed boost on Russia. It's only 20 on EU, isn't it? Also, I don't think it has the minus 80% duration thing. Does it? This thing, it looks identical, though. Fast and Furious, it's speed boost. It's just translation makes it Fast and Furious, which I think is really fucking funny. Interesting. This is... They undid some of the nerfs here, and then they redid some of the... Yeah, no, this is gonna be interesting. Actually, I think it's fascinating. I think it's cool that that the games are different because um sometimes you'll see maybe eventually you see one developer do something smart, and then you can go to the other developer and be like, hey, you saw that really smart thing they did. Why aren't you doing that? What do you mean it doesn't work? They just showed that it works. Where's your excuses, asshole?